Hello, 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 hello out there in the internet lands. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am the host of You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. Although there is no interview today. I tried to get somebody to come in, and it just everybody is busy, and lots of people have left the city, to be perfectly honest. So it seems like we'll just have to go with a little tiny episode here about the things that you can go and see when you are with your family or without your family, whichever you prefer. But there are a few things going on in the community that it would be great for you to see if you are still hanging around Milwaukee. So with that, let's just get right to it, shall we? No sense in wasting anybody's time here. The first thing that I would like to talk to you about is Almost Maine by John Cariani, I think is how you pronounce his name. Oh, I've already forgotten. My brain, I just really kind of hate it. It's directed by Karen Estrada over at Next Act Theater. We did do an episode last week about this particular production that you should try and see this weekend, maybe. In fact, what you can do is all the three shows that I'm going to talk about, you can go and see all of them this weekend, starting even tonight. You could go and see a show, then see a show Friday, then see a show Saturday, or see a show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think it would be a great time. But back to Almost Maine. It is a place that is so far north, it's almost Canada. It's not quite a town because its residents never got around to getting organized, so it almost doesn't exist. It's a comedy. It's filled with stories of multiple stories of residents of the town falling in and out of love in unexpected and hilarious ways, and it's just a fun, and I think we called it sort of a romantic comedy. Might be something that you might be interested in. You can go to nextact.org to go and find that little tiny piece of theater, little tiny piece of Almost Maine. Karen Estrada is a wonderful human being. Again, you can go and watch last week's episode and make that a journey this week. We also have Oliver ! Over at Skylight Music Theatre. And you, if you don't know about this one, this is a joyous and heartwarming musical. It's based on Charles Dickens's classic novel, Oliver Twist. It was a movie in like 1968 and won a huge amount of Academy Awards. The musical version of that, Oliver, as it were. And so this is a really great show, and it's got multiple casts of children, and so there's a whole bunch of kids, and it's just a fun family kind of program that is directed by Michael Unger, who I have a conversation with him that I will be putting together a big holiday show next week with multiple guests to talk about all of the shows coming up over the holidays. And Mr. Unger is one of those that I get to talk to. But again, this is a great show for families. It's got a whole lot of heart, and it says that there's 24 of Milwaukee's finest youth performers in this show. So take your family to see that one, and that'll be a great trip for you to do. Last but certainly not least, we have Clyde's over at Milwaukee Chamber Theater. This has been extended. This show is a big deal. They sold out multiple performances of this show. And so they decided to extend it through this Saturday. And it's directed by DeMonte Henning. It's featuring some great performers. One of my favorites is Nate Press, who has been getting some wonderful reviews. And you can actually see Nate this week, and then next week you can see him in A Very Deadly Constructivist Holiday, because Nate's schedule right now is absolute crazy town. He's also an independent artist, member of the Milwaukee Theater Alliance as well, and I think we would call it a dark comedy, I think is what you classify it under, but it's hilarious. It takes place in a greasy spoon off the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and there's a 4 formerly incarcerated cooks go through they're striving for redemption through their shared quest to create the perfect sandwich, because who doesn't love a perfect sandwich? And I love the tagline of this show. It's "A hero can be more than a sandwich." I think that's just clever and fun and hilarious. But you can go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org to get your tickets for that. I think there was a matinee today, and there's a show tonight, and then same thing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's some shows, so you can also get in there to see a comedy. All of these shows are really, I would say, fun, I think is the way that we can talk about those, and it's really great, particularly with Oliver Family Programming, to go and have your turkey day tomorrow and spend some time with family, and then with all this extra time, because lots of people have time off, some don't, but lots of people have time off over this weekend, and so it would be great for you to go and see a show. Again, you could legitimately go and see each one of these shows this weekend, and just fill your weekend with awesome Milwaukee theater. Again, that's Almost Maine over at nextact.org. Skylight Music Theater has Oliver, that's smtmke.org, and then the extension of Milwaukee Chamber Theater's Clyde's, and that's at MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org. The reason that I say theatre is because there's 2 different kinds of spelling. There's theatre and there's theater. I personally like to think of it as like theater is the building, theatre is the art itself, I think is the way that I like to think about that. You think about it however you want, but just for people who are listening instead of watching this program, I like to say theatre, so that you know that it's a TRE instead of a TER. I'm a nerd. What can I say? But that's what we've got for this week. We've got those 3 shows this week, and again, no guest, but that is okay. Then we can just focus on the art itself. I really hope that you go out and see something this weekend in your spare time. And then we will be back next week. Again, I'm going to have a big holiday show of talking to multiple guests about some offerings in December. There's a lot of great things going on in December, and so we will talk about that next week. So I hope you come back and see us again, and we'll talk to you then on You've Got a Thing.